How to play as an attacking midfielder and playmaker in football. That's what we're going over today. These ideas, these tips, these practices are going to help you stand out more in this position and just be an overall better playmaker when you step on the pitch. Really quick, guys, before we get started, I would like to thank the sponsor of this video, OneFootball, which you can download for free down below in the description. OneFootball is an incredible app for all football fans that want to keep up to date on the latest results internationally and at club level, keep up with your favorite club, your favorite national team. They also even have video compilations of different things, which I think is actually really cool. One of my favorite features on this app. Again, this app is absolutely free, and it's just a must for any football fanatic that wants to make sure they know what's going on in the world of football. So make sure you give some love to OneFootball by downloading it for free down below in the description. Without further ado, let's get into the rest of the video. Also, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you download my free ebook, Game Changer, 33 Ways to Improve Your Game and Stand Out on the Pitch. Again, absolutely free, linked down below in the description, and I'll put it in the comments as well. So the first thing I want to cover is pick your moment. You know, a lot of players, I think when they think of that attacking midfield position or that playmaker, they believe that the playmaker, attacking midfielder, you know, the Ronaldinho, Coutinho type players, Kevin De Bruyne type players, like they're always exercising their playmaking abilities. They're always, you know, playing that incredible pass or fashioning open that space or taking that incredible shot or whatever else it is, expressing themselves creatively. But if you actually watch these players, most of the time they're playing simple. And this is about picking your moment. You know, the difference between a great playmaker and one that's, you know, average is knowing when to do certain things. So even if you're a more creative player, if you're trying to force the issue and you're losing the ball and all these different things and you're doing things at the wrong moment, you're not going to be so good in that position. What makes so many of these players like De Bruyne, Ronaldinho in his time, Coutinho, even though, you know, let's say back in his prime, at Liverpool even, what made him so deadly wasn't because he was trying things all of the time, but he knew when to play that deadly ball and had the ability to execute. He knew when to take that player one-on-one, and he knew when to play simple, which was most of the time. So understand, you're going to have to pick your moment and take what's called calculated risks. Don't go in there and try and do these crazy things all of the time. So just keep that in mind. Football IQ is so essential in this position. If you got value out of that first tip or you're already enjoying the video, please hit that like button down below. That only helps the video to grow and helps support the channel. Now, without further ado, let's move on to the next one. Next is you're gonna have to follow your instincts. You know, in this position, you are going to have a lot of opportunities to do things that require a bit of a risk, even though we talked about having to pick your moment. And if you're not following your instincts in these situations, you're probably not gonna be able to pull it off, because guess what? That split second to play that ball is going to go away if you're overthinking. That opportunity to get that shot in is going to go away in a split second if you're overthinking. That opportunity to take someone one-on-one and create that opening is going to go away. Even to be able to play that 1-2 pass or play quickly or get out of trouble is going to go away if you're overthinking. You need to be playing on instinct. Now, if your instincts aren't good enough, I've got good news for you. You can train them. In your training, you should be working on drills that help you operate in tight space. Drills that help you take players one-on-one in tight space and when you have a little more space, you know, training your ability to play that pass. All of these things can be trained, and then you really have to allow your instincts to take over when it comes to the match situation. So understand, this is not a position, you know, it might look like the players are, you know, they're thinking they're like chess players or whatever. It's not the case. They're not really thinking that much. They're operating on instinct. They're allowing their instincts and intuition to take over in these situations. Next is be direct and do damage. This is an attacking position. So yes, I told you to pick your moments, but make sure you are picking those moments. You know, if you're an attacking midfield player and you're never taking someone one-on-one, you're not getting shots off, you're not trying to thread the needle, you know, play on your instincts, then you know, what are you doing there, right? You're not there to play defensive. You're not there to be timid. You're there to do damage. You're there to be dangerous. You know, again, if we look at some of the players I mentioned, the De Bruynes, you know, Coutinhos, the Ronaldinhos, other players that played in that more advanced midfield role, you know, they're doing damage. They're shooting from distance when they know they have the opportunity to do so, and they've worked on that enough to where they score a lot of the time, or they're putting in dangerous balls, or they're playing good through balls, clever passes. You know, they're taking players one-on-one and beating them, creating space. And so make sure you have the confidence in order to do that. It's so important in this position. Back yourself and definitely take those calculated risks when they show up. This is not a safe position. This is not a position where you're just going to play 1 and 2 touch every single time and play safe. Again, a lot of the time you may be doing that, but there will be moments for you to attack, to be dangerous, and make sure you're doing that in this position because it calls for it if you want to be good in this position. Next is find pockets of space, and this is crucial to play this position well. You know, a player I really like to look at this was when Frank Lampard was playing. He was a great player at being able to drift and find space between the lines, find those pockets of space, always looking for that opportunity to swivel and play someone in or swivel and get a shot off. And because his passing and also shooting was so great, you know, it made him so dangerous in this position. And you want to be doing the same, kind of drifting around, finding those pockets of space. Sometimes you'll receive it and have to play it right back or play it off to a teammate. But in other moments, you're going to be able to, you know, play one of your strikers in or one of your other midfielders. In other moments, you're going to be able to turn, have plenty of space, players are going to back off, and you're going to have that shooting opportunity or to be able to do something creative. But you need to be finding these pockets of space, getting free long enough to receive the ball, potentially turn towards goal if you can, or play a 1-2, play around the defense. But you need to be finding these pockets of space, drifting around, knowing where to be, having clever movement, dashing into that space quickly sometimes. Defender tries to get you, you have the opportunity to spin them or do something else. Make sure you're finding these pockets of space. It is crucial. If you're marked out of the game, you're not going to be able to do much. You know, make it hard on your opponent. Sometimes you'll drift even more back into the midfield. You'll drift between the lines. You'll find those pockets of space. You know, make yourself unpredictable in your movement and find the ball. Because ultimately, if you're going to be that playmaker player, even in these more advanced positions, you need to see the ball. You need to be available to the ball, for the ball, and be getting it in these pockets. Last one I want to give you that can make you a much more dangerous attacking threat is to run off your striker and also to combine with your striker. One of the best examples I can give you with this is when Dele Alli was in much better form when he burst on the scene. He had a great understanding with Harry Kane. A lot of times Harry Kane would come more infield. He would come more towards the ball, creating the space for Alli to run in behind and get the ball over the top. And he scored so many goals this way. And look for opportunities for yourself to do the same. You know, one of the cool things about an attacking midfielder is they can make that weak side run, dashing from the midfield, making that run forward and exploiting that space. This is something, for example, Steven Gerrard used to do a lot when he was playing in a more attacking position at Liverpool. He would find that chance to really make those bursts forward, get the ball in a more advanced position, or even get it in on goal, running off of his attacker who would be checking in. Make sure you're combining with the attacker too. Another thing Gerrard used to do, 1-2s. I remember a very really good goal he scored, I think, against Newcastle, where he headed the ball to Peter Crouch, got a 1-2 back, and then shot the ball right away. You know, look for these combinations that can get you the opportunity to shoot, or can get you the opportunity to slide in one of your players for maybe a tap in or an easy goal. But look to combine with your attacker, develop an understanding with your striker, because it's just going to make you a much more potent combination, and it's going to help you in your position. You need that combination. Again, Coutinho and Firmino at Liverpool had that when they were playing together as well, and you really want to develop that level of understanding with your striker when you're playing in this position. Guys, that's how to play as an attacking midfielder and playmaker in football. Just some ideas to give you some things to work on. This is one of the most fun positions, but it is also one of the most difficult. There's a reason not too many players play it well, because a lot of confidence is involved. You know, a lot of being able to manipulate the ball, be very good with the ball, find those pockets of space. There is a lot that goes into it, but when you get it right, it's an incredibly fun attacking position that can be very effective for your team. So use these tips to work on certain areas of your game that are going to help you be better at this, and make sure you're applying some of the things I went over in this video. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to this video, and I will see you in the next one.